Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and today I am bringing you guys another Cobra Kai What If, and this What If is what if Mr. Miyagi was alive. Now, I know a lot of people have actually been requesting this, along with what if Sam was in Cobra Kai. I will get to that eventually, along with what if Miguel joined Kreese. Don't worry, I will get to that. But today, I figured why not cover what if Mr. Miyagi was alive, because I figured that this would actually impact the series quite a lot, and it would actually make for a very positive storyline, considering we have the best Karate Kid character ever alive in Cobra Kai, aka Mr. Miyagi, not to mention the most powerful. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna shut up and let you guys watch the video. Hope you guys do enjoy, and have a nice rest of the day, everybody.
You was on some op shit. I was cruising down a nigga block with a chopstick. Rockstar nigga. Nah, I need a rock bitch. You want beef? Nah, bitches, nah, squash bitch.
So for this to work, I'm going to make Miyagi a little bit younger, along with getting rid of his heart failure or anything like that. And I think making him younger kind of just prevents that. So we're just going to make him 10 years younger, and we'll say that he trains Daniel 10 years younger. We'll just age him down. So this means Miyagi isn't going to be crippled or an old bat that we rarely see. No, he's going to be in the series and actually impacting Daniel's life significantly, and I'm actually going to get into that now. So Miyagi would be around Daniel's life, still teaching him karate and also life lessons. This means that Daniel is less aggressive, or I guess you can say less misguided in season 1. Since in season 1, Daniel constantly needed help from Miyagi and even went to his grave to try and get some advice. Because up until that point, Daniel was going about it the wrong way and seeking revenge on Cobra Kai, trying to get it shut down and trying other just extreme ways and means to try and shut it down, which was nothing Miyagi ever taught him, and he was just going about it the wrong way. But in this timeline, Miyagi would be teaching Daniel constantly and guiding him throughout his life, which means Daniel would never make these mistakes and is a lot less hot-headed as he would be originally in Cobra Kai. He's still hot-headed, but Miyagi is there to guide him, which means if Daniel's going to do anything stupid, Miyagi basically prevents that, or Miyagi's teachings prevent that from Daniel even making that decision in the first place. This means when Cobra Kai returns, Daniel isn't going to go about it like how he did in canon, shutting it down, tricking the landlord to up the rent. None of that stuff is happening, but rather Daniel decides to just reopen up Miyagi-Do, since maybe that could motivate and guide students the right way, similarly to how Miyagi did for him back in Karate Kid 1, but now Daniel and Miyagi can do it together. So Cobra Kai, initially everything is kind of going similar, and by episode 5 we see Daniel not acting like a hot-headed moron and going about it a much more appropriately. So the ending of episode 5 is not only Daniel getting ready, but also Miyagi himself, and the two beginning to spar as the episode then ends. So it's not only just Daniel opening up Miyagi-Do, it's Miyagi and Daniel working together to open it up. Also, just to let you guys know, because Miyagi was alive, Daniel was never really that rusty, so he's just been constantly at least keeping up with his training, and now he's going to step it up even more, considering now he's reopening up the dojo. The story progresses similarly to in canon, like all the stuff with Cobra Kai, Miguel and Sam, and all that stuff, while Daniel is trying to find people to train with him, and like in canon, he comes across Robby, who in this timeline gets the pleasure of not only training with Daniel, but also Mr. Miyagi. This means Robby would be even stronger than his canon self in this timeline due to him training with not only Daniel, but also Mr. Miyagi. And Sam and Miguel would still be having their relationship problems. Johnny still pulls up after Daniel's cousin destroys his car. But in this timeline, Miyagi would actually be in this scene. Miyagi here would be in the room eating with Daniel, Johnny, and Amanda, where they explain and settle everything. Daniel and Johnny still go out and vibe for the day until Robby is then revealed to Johnny that Daniel has been training with him, and all that stuff is set up for the All Valley, along with the beach party and Miguel being mad at Sam. All that stuff is the same, which means all that tension is perfectly transitioned into the next episode, which is the All Valley tournament. However, I think a key difference would be during the All Valley when Robby is fighting up against other students and Daniel's getting excited. I think Miyagi would say how Robby clearly isn't, doing all of this and trained with Daniel because he betrayed him and was working with Johnny. Obviously, he wouldn't be doing that if he's fighting his students and competing against them, not even on the same team as Johnny. It doesn't make any sense, and Amanda would follow up on this, which would convince Daniel even before the Hawk fight with Robby to basically, Daniel and Robby can apologize with each other and Robby can now fight for Miyagi-Do and represent Miyagi-Do. Miyagi clearly sees an opportunity here, so I think he's going to intervene, and this leads into Daniel telling Robby to focus in the tournament and to basically not lose any concentration at all, even before the Hawks fight, which means now Robby is in his focus state even before the fight with Hawk begins, which was how Robby even scored a point on Hawk initially in the first place, which was this Zen concentration state, and now he's even stronger than his canon self considering he's been training with Miyagi. So this means initially he's going to fumble Hawk and score a point on him. And as for the second time, Hawk is going to try and fight Robby, but Robby, being in his Zen state and being much stronger than his canon self, is going to slam Hawk 2-0, which means Hawk isn't going to be disqualified by kicking his arm or anything like that. And this means Robby is at his peak before facing off against Miguel, which means during the finale, Miguel is fighting a prime Robby, an even stronger Robby than his canon self because he's been training with Miyagi, which means Miguel is definitely going to lose this fight because even when Robby had one hand, he was able to at least put up a fight against this Miguel, which means Robby's weakness that Miguel was taking advantage upon is now non-existent, and Robby's even stronger than his canon self. I think we have a clear winner here, and in this timeline, instead of Miguel beating Robby by taking advantage, it would be Robby defeating Miguel easily and winning the All Valley for Miyagi-Do, which means Kreese never returns by the end of Season 1, given the fact that Cobra Kai never wins the All Valley, which was the reason why Kreese even came back in the first place, which means this guy isn't going to be causing conflict like how he was in Season 2 and Season 3, because he's never going to return. This means instead of No Mercy being expanded upon, Johnny would teach how that stuff could turn you into someone you don't want to be, and it's not worth it. This takes into effect for people like Hawk, who doesn't rely on jumping Dimitri in this timeline because he's never taught about No Mercy and he never does those ratty tactics on Robby, so none of that stuff is really opened up. Even though Cobra Kai may have lost the All Valley, that doesn't mean the determination is gone, and Cobra Kai is still not training. Cobra Kai is going to be training even harder than they ever did before. They're going to do whatever it takes to win the next All Valley while also not being ratty and really applying the old No Mercy like how Karate Kid 1 did. Basically, Cobra Kai is never going to be changing into an army of assholes like how they did in Season 3, and they're not going to be spiraling down the dark path. And also, speaking of what I was saying earlier about the Hawk thing, Dimitri wouldn't even make the Yelp review to initiate Hawk to try and jump him in the first place because Kreese is never around to basically assault Dimitri. I think in the end, though, Dimitri is going to be trying out Miyagi-Do and going to be staying in Miyagi-Do since I think that just naturally fits with him, and Sam would also be joining the dojo by Season 2. Also, without Kreese, this means no Medal of Honor being stolen, no Miyagi-Do being vandalized, none of that stuff really happens, so really most of the conflict is never stirred up in Season 2. The only thing close to tension is Daniel trying to ask Johnny if maybe Robby could stay with him because his mom just took off on him, which Johnny would reluctantly agree upon because it's better for Robby to stay there. Johnny knows it's better for Robby to stay there for his sake, and you know, Robby and Johnny can't really live together because it would be kind of awkward for Robby, and this is just the best scenario for Robby. So Johnny reluctantly accepts. And also, Cobra Kai would still initially crash the festival, which means Tori is still in Cobra Kai and into the story, but I don't think really she's going to be kind of as crazy as she once was because Kreese isn't around. And not to mention, it's Johnny's teachings rather than Kreese's teachings. So I think Tori overall is just going to be having a better philosophy and isn't going to be as nearly as crazy as she once was. And really the only thing that's going to be bad is the drama between her and Sam. But I don't think it's really going to escalate that bad. And I think Johnny's going to teach Tori to just leave it behind her. And yes, you guys heard me, the drama never escalates and no school fight even happens because no Medal of Honor is stolen, which means Sam has no reason to go up to Miguel at the party, which means no kiss, which means no school fight. So none of that really happens. Armin and Johnny stay together. So Johnny and Danny, in all honesty, by the end of this are probably just going to be friends because there's no conflict between them. And Robby and Miguel could just be cool with each other. They don't have to be friends, but they could just leave on a mutual standing, along with Sam and Tori. The two separate dojos still train, however, they aren't going to be, you know, rival dojos or really anything like that. They're going to be kind of all friends with each other, just training in different karate schools. So because of Mr. Miyagi, the story is actually a lot more positive. Kreese never returns, and I'm pretty sure even if he did, Mr. Miyagi would just neg him. And also for clarification, because Tori is applying Johnny's teachings and Johnny is teaching this to Tori, this means Tori and Sam probably never even have that drinking competition, which leads into Sam kind of ruining Johnny and Daniel's relationship that they were kind of building up. So that never gets ruined. And as for Allie and Johnny, Johnny and Allie are just going to clarify that they're friends since Johnny and Carmen never break up, so they're going to stay together and Carmen and Johnny would fall in love. That's basically most of the stuff I have to clarify, and yeah, I think we're done here. And that's where we're going to be leaving our story off for right now, and I hope you guys did enjoy this what if. I certainly did. I think it was a nice little story to kind of have Mr. Miyagi kind of impact the story this much, and I honestly really did enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up along with subscribing if you are new. Hit the bell icon that we are notified and updated every time I upload, because YouTube tends to be wonky with that kind of stuff, so be sure to hit the bell icon. And again, subscribe if you are new, because the majority of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you are watching my videos and not subscribed, what are you doing, weirdo? I'm not trying to call you a weirdo, you know, I'm not trying to offend you, but come on now, you gotta subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and be sure to follow me on Twitter. My name's Tyler, and thanks again for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye.